But yes, another great addition today. We have a very special guest in studio with us right now, Mr. Chris Dews. How you doing, sir?
Hi, I'm here.
He's also a real dude.
He's a real dude.
Very real.
He's not at all fake. I promise y'all.
Not fake news at all.
Not at all. So Chris joins us today for a very special segment because we're going to get into a little bit more about what you do. We'll say it like that.
Okay.
A little bit more about what you do.
Indeed.
Which we do with all our guests on our show here at Out the Box Radio. Now, before we do your interview, if you will, and get to know more about you and your background, we do have topics. Now, Out the Box here, we kind of round table it, even though it's not a round table. It's okay. Think outside the box.
It's very rectangular.
Yeah, it's very rectangular.
But you got to think outside the box.
All puns intended.
Indeed.
So we want to cover a few topics today, and we want to get your intake on those.
Okay.
Our other co-host, Jonay, beautiful co-host, smart, sometimes defensive, a little crazy with her answers. Jonay is stuck at work, so hopefully she's going to tune in, but we have you here to answer topics instead, which might be fun for you at least, and hopefully for us too.
You know it.
So we're going to get into it. Jared, I actually want to throw it over to you because I think you had one on mind that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So I brought this up today to you because everyone keeps talking about the daggone commercial I'm in, and I'm like, yo,
Me
stop
Q.
talking and just watch.
Me Q.
Stop talking and just watch. But they was talking to me and they're like, Jared, you're like the spokesperson or whatnot. I'm like, I'm not the spokesperson. I'm just happen to be in the commercial. If I was the spokesperson, you probably wouldn't be seeing me like that.
You have more money.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask, like, if any of you could be a spokesperson for any product or any commercial, like you have your pick, what would you choose?
Oh, that's easy. Gillette.
Oh, really?
The best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
Oh, really?
And that's actually obvious for me because, they got a lot of recent controversy with the whole male or whatever like that. And I think it would be interesting to, like, set that story straight because, especially as a young African-American man in the city, I think that there's already so many barriers to, like, understanding the struggles that a lot of women go through. And I think the toxic masculinity, as interesting as intellectually that conversation could be discussed, I think a lot of the times, like with most intellectual things, they get out of context, right? So I would love to be the person who gets to set that information straight. That would be like, or just to, be a part of that conversation and talk about how do we actually deal with issues of toxic masculinity? How do we deal with issues of consent? How do we actually, how did somebody go from a conversation of, hi, I'm Chris, to, hey, I'm your future husband, you're going to marry me, to, hey, wow, we were married for 10 years or whatever like that. It's not a simple process and it's messy for everybody.
Not at all,
and I think, people like Gillette making big money, big money, capitalizing on
for many years.
Big money.
On a little bit of an issue and then, but confusing
for
the rest
many
of the
years, yes.
Just saying.
Wow, that's a very...
And just made that up off the top of my head.
Right.
So, yeah, that's how I promise that was not prepared.
Y'all, he's real.
Like,
about a lot, actually.
Yeah,
not
He knew your question, right?
You probably didn't know my question.
It's not as good as me.
Did I text it to you? Or?
I mean...
one day at a time.
Now, Jared, you know what? If I didn't know you very well, I didn't know how commercials work, I would probably say, oh, yeah, because you're really, like, you're not the only one in the commercial, but you are the principal role. You're the only principal role, if you think about it. So
I did manage to, like, shake everybody.
Yeah.
Take everybody, because I'm like, y'all in this too. And it was my first experience. So.
That's what's up. I love that. I am excited for you because I've always wanted to do a commercial, and if I can't do it, I want people that I'm close with that I know that can do it. So shout out to you. I'll always remember it.
All right, but you haven't
Next
answered
time.
my question yet.
Next time,
that is true.
But you haven't answered my question yet.
The question.
But I've been thinking about it since you asked me earlier today. Okay. I think I have two. One is based on a product that I use. So I have, real life experience using this product. So I would love to be a spokesperson for it. Now, it might be very minor for you guys, but this item is something that's a necessity for me every single day. When you go outside your house, you have your check, wallet, keys, cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, well, my fourth item is my chapstick, Carmex.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. Because hold on, this wasn't planned.
No, you know what? He's right. He kind of right about that.
Let me show you something.
Found on my chapstick.
I actually have 2 Carmexes in my pocket.
Wow.
2.
Not one.
Not one.
2.
I have the general chapstick, which is more, like basic. It's on right now, everybody. I don't have no lips because I'm white, but guess what? It's on there. And then I have the more glossier one, but the liquid one. This is like the fan favorite, if you will. I love chapstick. I will never go out the house without it. And let me tell you something. Which I've done, if I ever leave the house without chapstick, I am the type of motherfucker who will drive to a CVS or Walgreens and pick it up. I don't care where I am. I will leave work on a lunch break and go pick up some chapstick if I lost my chapstick. I feel naked, lost and afraid, like the TV show, without my damn chapstick. And I don't want busted up lips. So I could definitely be a spokesperson. I can tell you all the flavors, the scents that they have. I can tell you which ones last longer, which ones feel better, which ones stink. Don't do it because no one wants to kiss you or be around you with it on your lips. I can do all that. We got what you need for them lips.
I feel.
That's what I would do. That was one of them because I use it all the time. The other one that would be more fun to be a spokesperson for because you get to test it out for free. I would want to be a spokesperson for maybe, I have to pick a good brand.
You said you knew.
Well, I do, but I'm going to narrow it down and you'll see why. I would say Patron or Don Julio liquor, because think about it. You can drink as many samples as you want. You get to talk to people about it. You probably get paid some good incentive for it, and you have bottles for days in your cabinet at home. Bottles for years in your cabinet.
Experimental purposes.
At home.
Just to make sure the product
Solely for that.
Indeed.
Solely for that. I can drink at work and say, hey, I'm getting ready for this event coming up afterwards. I have to be prepared. Let me take a few swigs, a few shots. At my desk, yes.
See, if we was going the liquor and alcohol route, all of my friends know that I would choose Hennessy. They know because like every time I go out, like it's always like
you like
at least one
Jonay.
drink. Like I always at least have like one drink with Hennessy, and they're like, "Bro, you're just synonymous with it." And I'm like, "Look,
Are you a dark? You love dark liquor?
I love dark liquor.
Yeah.
I'm a whiskey like cognac type of person. Yeah, I am.
I don't like dark liquor.
I know you don't.
It turns me into a monster. It's really bad, actually.
I know. We've had this conversation.
Really
about
bad.
dark liquor.
Yeah, it's really bad. But liquor in general, that's a good industry to be in.
Yeah, but
It never really runs out. Yeah, everybody's kind of in need.
But when I was making up this question, I wasn't thinking of liquor at all. Like one of my first responses was actually Gillette because I do like because I do shave like on a regular. I haven't done it in a couple of days.
No,
I'm
you
busy.
don't.
Huh?
What?
What?
The afro. From the, yeah, we talked about that.
I want to see what you're going to say, your reaction. What do you shave? What are you
My
talking
head,
about?
dumbass.
You know, if you let me put some chapstick on it, it could really gleam right now. Hold on.
No, I don't need.
Hold on, Jared.
I don't
Just
need my
sit still.
Oh hell no! You ain't fixing that shit.
Right, like a diamond.
We would have been fighting and the show would have been over. You just would have had to come back another.
He'd have been like, what the did I walk
It would've been
into?
over.
Welcome, Chris.
I shave my head. It's not every day, every other day, or every couple of days. But I try not to had to come up to your level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the hairline's just not there no more.
So Gillette's a product you use?
Yeah, Gillette
Okay.
is a product that I use. So I would.
Good.
So like, if I became a spokesperson, it'd be like, yes, I shave every day because
You don't have to even act.
Clean. Yeah, I gotta keep it
You're
clean.
not acting. It's real life shit.
Right. And I also just bought the the new skin guard and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. And that actually does work. That actually does work for me because I get razor bumps like heavy.
Oh my gosh, so do I.
And it actually like took it down. So like as
I hate
kept
that.
using it.
Now I'm not gonna lie. You probably can't tell. I have so much facial hair on my face. For those of you who can't see, there's
does.
like literally a whole beard. And by that I mean nothing. So the funny thing with me and like razor, so just recently for a gig, they wanted me to get rid of all my facial hair. I said I don't really have any. Right. So I took my Gillette razor and not knowing how the system works because I have the facial hair of a 5-year-old, I literally shaved it all off as fast as I possibly could.
Wait,
Wow.
No cream or nothing?
No, I thought I was in a rush. You understand what I'm saying?
Were you
I was
at the
late.
event or you
Yeah,
were?
no, I was actually going to the event. You know what I'm saying?
wow.
And I got an email from the person running the event or whatever like that. She
Yeah.
said, yeah. By the way, we want you looking a lot younger, no facial hair. I thought that was a little strange.
Last minute.
But so I literally shaved everything off, no protection. Went in raw and bumps for days.
Oh, that
I mean,
sucks.
for days.
That sucks.
It just I'm just now cleaning up. It's and that was about at least a good 2.5 months ago.
Ooh.
So just something to think about. You know, Gillette could have probably given us a little more information about that as well. Just
But like I
just
saw that skin guard thing on the TV and I was like, you know what? Worthy investment.
Indeed.
Worthy investment.
The best a man can get.
The other
Absolutely.
pay me, Gillette. The other product that I was considering, I was like, you know what? Sprite. Only because like
Sprite,
every time I look at
okay.
the commercials, I'm like, the commercials just look fun.
It looks fun.
They just look fun.
And I like Sprite. I don't drink
Yeah,
soda.
and I like
Sierra Mist
Sprite.
with Sprite, yeah.
Like I don't drink soda as much as I do.
I
in the
definitely
past.
don't.
Huh.
But like, I'll definitely promote the hell out of that. As much fun as like them people be having them commercials. Yes, I would.
Yep. You saw that one comedian board, whatever his name is, the You know, the young black dude, the one that's like...
There's a lot of young black dudes.
The one with the facial hair.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Full
Nice
of facial hair, yes.
Indeed.
The one that's
I
on
know what you're talking
Facebook, known for YouTube and Facebook videos. Yeah. He got a good money deal for that. But he's just known for online videos. He got spotted from that. So it doesn't take much, y'all. Pop open a can of Sprite.
It don't.
Go walk by some casting directors and see what you can do.
And
Yeah, just
Gillette,
look
if
at
you're
him and be like,
listening,
you want a Sprite?
help us.
Literally, that's it.
Want a
Literally,
Sprite?
That's it. Bam,
Simple
that's
as that.
$10,000.
Just simple. Yes, just simple. So I kind of want, mine isn't about products, but I kind of want to ask a question about entertainment, because that's what we talk about here, entertainment, right? That's what our show is really based on. We have a lot of foundational support in the entertainment industry. So I want to, as I rub this cloth, I see you looking.
Why are you like massaging the white table?
I'm still so surprised at this. This is only our second show that we've had since we've had this cloth on there, so sometimes it still throws me off.
Oh.
And white reflecting on white isn't right. So this is what I will say about entertainment, okay? Think about movies, right? Don't go anywhere, Jared. I need you for this, okay? Think about movies. A favorite movie that you've seen, but there only was one. The first, the only. If you could find a movie that could have a sequel, what movie would you choose? And hopefully, hope to God it's good, because some sequels aren't always the best.
Typically terrible, yeah.
Typically terrible.
Yeah.
But if you could choose one that only has one right now, and you wanted to be see a second one, what movie would you say?
Wow, that's a phenomenal question, to which I would answer Casablanca. I know it's an
Casablanca.
American classic. Everybody loves Casablanca, and I love it too. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's got so many quips, so many one-liners, and I would love to see it recast with Benedict Cumberbatch and I can't even think of a lady, but maybe I don't know, change it up racially and put Octavia Spencer in. As,
Okay. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
The movie is such a American classic, and it's so clean and so smooth and so direct that and the ending is so prominent and profound that I would love to know what happened to Humphrey Bogart's character Rick Blaine after the film took off.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
Those of you who
Show
know the
us what's
plot
going
to
on. Yeah.
Casablanca, in 30 seconds or less, there's a guy, he runs a bar, and he runs into the lady that he broke up with, who literally shattered his heart. And as a young man at the time, I had just gone through my first breakup. Don't. Let's not talk about it. Oh no, let's talk about it.
You a man?
I was like, come on.
Whatever like that. I'm not gonna. I
We
maybe
won't
cry
cry.
once or twice or 100 times.
It defines you.
Yeah.
but
Or
it's
even
not-
now, we
Guy,
like tears.
And then, I kind of checked the guy into the, because I used to work at the, whatever. Anyway, so the bottom line is things didn't go very well. And what I liked most about it was that in Casablanca, at the end of the story, Rick Blaine, played by Humphrey Bogart, gives up the lady of his life, whatever, the lady who really hurt him and broke his heart, for the sake of a better future. You know what I'm saying? A bigger, better ideal, a bigger, better future, for the sake of the man that she wanted to be with, and because I think he was some kind of revolutionary, something like that in his time, right? So I said to myself, just that ironic hero story about giving up what you really want the most, you know what I'm saying, to be like that bigger hero.
Yeah.
Of course, that heroic story has been told time and time again, but I would love to see, for many people who think that sacrifice is such a great thing, there's the after story of you now having to live with it. You know what I'm saying? The sacrifices that you made.
Oh, yeah.
And as heroic as a sacrifice may be, we don't really focus enough story-wise on what happens after a person's made a horrible, sacrifice, and now they're in the business or, enduring. And I would love to see
what it's really like.
Yeah.
What is life really
kinda
like when you make that
after
choice?
you're
Yeah.
happily ever after, in Into the Woods or whatever like that. They kind of show, things aren't as pretty when you
On the other side, grass ain't
I'll
greener.
really random answer, but I'll take it from there. Yeah,
That's good. That's a good one. Okay.
indeed.
Jared?
That is such a difficult question to the point where I don't think I have an answer.
No, come on.
Yeah.
No, I'm being dead serious. In a
No.
lot of my favorite movies,
No answer.
either the way that they ended
You
have
were
been perfectly wrapped up where I'm like, you don't need
Okay.
people, don't touch it, you don't need to
Don't ruin it.
You
Yes.
don't need to remaster
Please.
it. It's fine. One of my favorite movies is Inside Man by Spike Lee. With,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, with
Yes.
Denzel Washington.
That's a
Yes.
good one. Yeah.
Yes.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, you don't need to touch
Don't touch it.
That's it. I can
Don't.
watch that any day.
Yeah.
Any day I can watch that. Don't
Yeah.
touch it. And some of my other favorite movies, I'm gonna just go off on speed round is from The Lion King. Anyone who knows me knows that I love The Lion King.
We can't wait to
to
this summer. We
don't
can't.
talk
We
about
can't
the
wait
sequel,
to this
though,
summer.
so, yeah.
Well, we should talk about the sequel.
We should talk about the sequel.
Because
Wow,
I do like
okay.
it. I actually do like it.
Oh.
Do you?
It's not as good as the first, but I'm like, you know what? It's part of my childhood, so
But we're all looking forward to the reboot that's coming out this
they
summer.
better not ruin that shit.
They're not gonna ruin it.
They're gonna ruin it.
They're not gonna.
But anyway,
Oh God, I hope not.
Well, we'll see.
anyway, like other favorite movies of mine, like Men in Black or Speed, which is a classic. They had sequels, but they weren't really good.
I heard the new Men in Black wasn't that
like
good.
Creed is one of my favorite movies that already has a sequel.
Yeah.
So like either the sequels have been done or like the originals, or like the one movie has been that good, and I'm like, you
don't do it.
Touch it.
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So
well,
I can't think of one who's like has one singular movie where I'm like, oh, I would love to see a sequel. It's like, no.
Now, okay, now I don't disagree with you because I know there's a lot of movies out there that I feel the same way. Like, there's no need to touch it. There's no need to touch it. But there are movies that they don't really have as much of a plot to it. It's just kind of like a good comedy or drama, and you're like, why not see a second one, see how this, unfolds. So my favorite movie not of all time, but one of my favorite movies of all time, has always been White Chicks. I love White Chicks. Love it. Love it. And I would pay some money to see White Chicks 2. Because I don't really feel... Could they ruin it? Sure, they can ruin everything. But White Chicks doesn't have enough of a plot for me that I feel like they could ruin. They can make it just as funny as the first one. I feel like they could. Absolutely. The Wayne brothers are good as it is. They can make anything good, I think. So put them costumes on, and I don't care what you do, I'm going to be cracking the hell up. Because they're just funny.
Wow. I was going to say, here's my question for that. So White Chicks, wonderful movie, very interesting. I wonder, because I was thinking about this movie, another movie, you ever heard of Joanna Man? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a movie from back in the day, and of course the plot was this basketball player can't make it in the major leagues with the gentlemen, and now he's transitioned or whatever like that to be with in the female team. And I say to myself, we look at a lot of these movies, like could that movie have played today? And I wonder, would White Chicks bingo, would a White Chicks 2 play today? Or Joanna Man 2 play today?
I'm not sure if those movies
that's a good point.
would fly today because of the social presence of the LGBTQ community.
Very true.
And also with just like the women's movement in general, and specifically on White Chicks, just white people in their feelings, or just other races being offended. We do have to take that into consideration. Like there was a movie that I didn't see this, but I just heard about it on the internet. There was a movie about this white man who put on the persona of a black female on radio.
Oh, LaQuisha.
I
think the movie's called. Yeah, I saw the trailer.
I was like,
I haven't heard that one, LaQuisha.
That's just,
that was weird. That was a weird.
Do that. And then someone else had brought up the fact, wait, they did it with white chicks, and I was like, see, that ain't the point. The point is that white folks will do that to us forever, but that's a conversation for another day. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like today's society, I don't think it would fly that way.
Is it blackface if it's on the radio? That's
it's black voice.
It's black voice.
Yeah,
it's something.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like for White Chicks, it's. I mean, how long has it been out now? What, like a decade at least?
Yeah.
Or so. But I feel like even a decade ago, things were accepted enough to where, for that level of comedy, people would understand it's comedy.
Yeah,
I get some people will judge it.
It was done like very,
very tastefully. It was good. The comedy was gold. I feel like with that, they had fun with it. I don't think they played too... I mean, granted, they were dressing up as white girls, so it's hard to say this, but I don't think they played too much on the white card as far as going in depth. As like, they weren't... They're focusing more on the funny side of stuff. Let me resemble X, Y, and Z. Not like, ooh, white people do this. Like, no, like they weren't aggressive with it. They were having fun with it. I think it would be something great. And not just that, but I feel like they are coming out with a second one, because I've seen rumors I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard rumors that... they are deciding on whether or not they want to come together to do it. Maybe it's a money issue. Maybe they don't have money to do it. Or maybe not everyone wants to participate.
For
yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm still waiting for Tropic Thunder
but then
too.
again,
yes. Well, like that one too. That was a good one too.
Same cast.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's a movie where I'm like, you don't have to do a sequel, but if you did,
it's okay.
I think we get over it. Yeah.
I would get over that. I would love to see that.
Somebody will, you know what I'm saying, but they'll live. They'll laugh through the oppressive pain.
It would be worth it. It would be worth their pain to see the second one. I would enjoy that.
Indeed.
Both their pain and the second movie.
Yeah.
Because who cares about you guys? Just kidding. I love everyone.
Right. But like off of that, because now I'm really interested in this conversation of like things like comedy that will fly today, or like artistic things that will fly today.
Yeah.
I always have this conversation with people now. Boondocks is coming back for a 50th.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Phenomenal
show.
When it was still a rumor, I was like, I had to think about it. I'm like, could Boondocks fly today? Like, is it really gonna fly today? And I was like, you know what? I don't care if it's not gonna fly. Do it.
Right.
Do it.
Doesn't even matter. Yeah.
I dare you to do it, and they did it. So I'm like, great. Let's see what happens, because I was such a huge fan of the Boondocks.
I don't know anybody who wasn't a huge fan of the Boondocks, but
Which is true.
Think about, but in modern times, I wonder, like, when somebody say that's a horrible representation of African Americans, and it's portraying African, like, what, Thugnificent?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and 10 years ago nobody would have said this, but now it would be deemed as like mad homophobic, because I know there's that scene where was it Thugnificent who made out with
it was Gangstalicious.
Gangsta.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Like the dude who was just like, he was black and black.
Yes.
And then also know one of Riley's quotes is, nigga, you gay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm telling you
it might touch.
Someone's going to be mad.
Someone's going to be upset.
Someone's going to be mad.
But nowadays, we all expect that to happen.
Indeed.
So guess what? Get over it. There's some things I might not like, but guess what? I'll get the hell over it.
Yeah. Teach yourself how to
get the hell over it. Exactly. It's not
look,
personal. I mean, maybe, but not really.
If it's funny and if it's within the context of what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay,
no,
sure.
people need to get over their feelings. It ain't that damn deep.
Right.
You have your own life. You live in it. Move on. Live on.
I cannot wait for Boondocks season 5. I cannot wait.
Well.
And I'm over here dropping my phone.
All of us do.
Oh, what's up, Elena? Elena's over here grinding, y'all.
Grinding?
Yes.
On?
Not like that. I meant like.
I'm
like works towards her career.
Yes.
Did I say a person? I just said on.
But I know how you think.
Well, I was thinking that, but I didn't say it. I was going to let you fill in the blank.
See, those
on her money, on her job.
We assume negative, you know what I'm saying?
We sure do. And Jared always assumes the worst when I open my mouth.
It's only because, like, Tom...
He knows where I go.
Exactly. I know where
It's not time and time. It's every time.
Yeah, he always goes.
He knows where I go.
You sure it wasn't just the chapstick situation?
Yeah.
No, that I didn't see coming.
I did, okay.
I didn't see the chapstick thing coming.
Everyone likes their lips to be moist.
Moisture is...
It helps. It helps the lubrication. As we all, you know what? While we take a quick break in a second, do we all have chapstick? Oh, we are going to take a chapstick break.
I'm chapless.
Ooh.
Forgive me.
Well, some of us will have moist lips, and when we come back in just a minute, some of us might be a little bit parched, but it's okay, Chris. Your lips look fine, actually.
Thanks,
they're
man.
perfect.
You know, I do try. I moisturize them.
Moisturize.
Yeah, do little lip workouts and everything else like that. That's
lip
really
workouts.
strange to say out loud. I probably
That's,
let that one
I'm just imagining like
what a lip workout would look
little
like.
weights you're lifting up with your bottom.
Yes.
It's just pretty entertaining, actually.
The way to life. Right?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, you know.
So those of you who are tuning in right now to Out the Box Radio Show live with Chris Dews, we will be right back in just a moment to get more in depth into the life of Chris, if you will, to find out what he does. For now,
and why he's in a suit.
Indeed.
For now, take a look at this this clip, which we'll show you, which actually goes into Chris's acting reel. So we'll talk about it when we come back in just a moment.
You got it.
Real?
Yep. Reel it in.
Look, man, this game ain't no joke. You know that. Cats on the street corners right now getting killed every day. Now, if you want to be like all the rest of these brothers out here, running with the hood, throwing rocks at the cops, and you go ahead. That's easy. But if you want to be a real man, feed Lil J, make a name for yourself, and start cats on the court, that's hard, man. That's real man talk. You got to earn that. So what you gonna do? You gonna earn it?
You know, impulse buys never end up working out, right?
I know, Ma. You've been telling me that for like 7 days straight.
Unable to take the watch off lest he fall victim himself, he managed to hide with his family. For a while, eventually the hordes found him.
Okay. We'll wait for dawn, like a couple of hours, and then we'll make a break for it.
Now I see. That is a nice one.
Ma, not you. It's James.
Oh, well, where's your...
I'm thinking about going watchless today.
Oh.
Tom, you don't need those, you know.
I'm headphones guy.
Yeah, but you could be something more. No. Surprisingly, everyone I've talked to seems to believe that dead people rise again, angels come down from heaven to move rocks, and 60-foot veils magically tear themselves apart.
Do you honestly believe we're all lying?
Yes! You have to be. You don't understand the impossibility of the stories. One says that Jesus Christ came back to life and that he put his finger through his hand. 2 others say that he met them on the road to Emmaus, and yet hundreds more say that he preached to them. It doesn't make any sense.
You were talking about yourself. What's going on over there? What's wrong?
Yeah, well, first of all, shot that was a film I put together myself back in 2016. For
Nice.
3 years,
Yeah.
A lot of the work that I do now, I don't know if it's non-disclosure, but they don't have any access to the material. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of painful.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know how that is, man.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that hat, and I remember the day we had that shoot, I was gonna go hatless, and they were like, no, detectives are supposed to have hats. So I think this lady was like, she got me this. Well, this is embarrassing to say out loud. She got me this lady's hat, and it just happened to fit my head because I have a very small head. It's disproportionate to my body, and if
I don't think your head is bad at all.
With it. Yeah, I mean, I like my head.
Yeah,
it's a very nice head.
I think it fits your body well.
Yeah, and
I think most people look at the height.
It's got a lot of. Oh yeah, that's true. That's great.
That's
distraction.
I was gonna say that, but it's not a bad distraction. It's just it's different. It stands out. So they're not looking at your head.
Good.
And your head looks fine to me. I think it looks fine.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah.
But see, that's the stuff we love on this show. We love to talk about what happens like behind the scenes that people wouldn't know. He was wearing a lady's hat. Pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Let's say it again. He was wearing. I'm just playing. I thought it was good. No, your acting reel is really good. I love the role you played as a basketball player. Very intense, very serious. Some people can't get in that character very quickly, but you did it, which is really good. And then we were talking behind the scenes, you guys, about the scene, the second clip in your reel of you with the mom character, if you will, how it looks like in between takes they must have powdered her face to give it that look of whatever it is, she's a zombie or she's a zombie. Yep. And so I was like, did they powder her face in between the break? And you're like, yeah, because you can tell.
Didn't have any chapstick, so her whole face is broken. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of, sometimes you moisturize. You gotta
moisturize the lips.
Honey, I can help you, Mom. Chapstick right here. Here to help your lips stay moist all day.
Yet.
Yes, but we will get there because if she had some, it may have been a whole different scene.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have had a nicer face.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Chris, for joining us today. So we're going to get into a little bit more about what you do. Now, I want to start off with, because we just saw your acting reel, so let's not deter away from that. Let's talk more about your acting career itself. Okay. Which genre do you prefer? Now, everyone has a different field they love to be in, and some people don't mind any type of genre. So if you had to choose one, which would you choose?
This is a great question. I'm not gonna lie. I've been blessed to have a multiplicity of I get cast in a lot of different things. But I would probably do some type of corporate white collar thriller. Right?
Corporate white collar thriller.
Yes. I'm a big fan of wearing suits, and I like to dress up. And just as a weird. And I promise you, I'm not some woke bro, right? I'm not that far down the rabbit hole. But to be as an African American guy growing up, right? So the only images that we had specifically of intelligent looking black men was we had Malcolm X and Steve Urkel. Right. So if you were like a black guy wearing glasses in like the 1960s and you talked a certain way or whatever like that, they would go, oh wow, like a young Malcolm X. Yeah. Today you get Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Right. And so as you can tell from my vernacular, the way I talk, the way I dress, I don't necessarily fit in with the common perception of African Americans. So to do anything that's like intense, wearing suits or whatever like that, I feel like that's the definition of where I would like to go in my life.
Okay.
I will
House
say,
of Cards would be beautiful.
And if it was still running,
if it were still running.
you would fit right in.
Thanks, Spacey.
Right in.
I've turned it down several times.
I will say to combat your thought a little bit, I think we are moving into a period of time where that type of look, like the corporate black man, is in. You know what I mean? Because there are different what am I trying to say? I'm not trying to say different shades, but different looks of black. There's of course the black athlete and the black entertainer, but there's also the black businessman. There's the black blue collar worker. There's the black father and so on and so forth.
Right.
And I'm not saying we haven't made tremendous progress. I mean, one of the biggest reasons why I was a big fan of Obama, even without policies or whatever like that, was just here's a really sharp, Harvard graduated, articulated black man, you know what I'm saying, getting up there and, no offense, taking on the white man where he stands, you know what I'm saying? And I remember watching these debates with Romney and stuff like that, and it was very impressive. So I like the fact that most of the stuff I get cast in now is actually for a company called 2U Studios. Probably shouldn't be revealing this much, but a lot of what they do is, they're great people, real quick shoots or whatever like that, phenomenal company, and a lot of what they do is corporate. So a lot of the work that I've had, I think in the last 2 years, has been either wearing a shirt, collar, tie, suit, or whatever like that. Right. And because my father was big on suits and I'm big on suits, it's like I'm moving in the direction that I would like to move into. Exactly.
Which is good. Which is great. And you look awesome in suits.
Thank you. But I've got the face of like a 15-year-old or whatever.
Which makes it interesting.
Indeed.
It means you're growing up in style.
Hey, that means
I love it.
That means you could always play like the law intern or the medical.
You could.
telling you, like whenever next law show or next med show they
Yep.
make,
Pushing that.
push it.
Yeah,
Coming up in the business world. Coming up in the business world.
Indeed.
Do you find anything challenging? Like, do you find between a genre of comedy or any genre, all of them, do you find anyone in particular to be difficult or challenging to play the role?
In all honesty, my best has been comedy. In all honesty, I'm really good with improv.
I was gonna say you seem like you're good at that.
Yeah, I do love to talk. And then I'm really good with intense pieces. In all honesty, I think I'm trying to think of what the most difficult.
What about emotional, like crying, tears?
I actually think playing stereotypical African, not stereotypical. I want to break these frames altogether, but playing because the work that I do. We're going to get to this later, I'm sure. Because the work that I do involves dealing with disenfranchised African Americans in Baltimore City. It comes across performance-wise, it looks really easy for me to do, but deep down, I always say to myself, am I representing, this struggle properly? Because I know because I've worked with this population, I know that. I know that I'm acting, right? Whereas if I'm playing a lover boy or whatever like that, oh yeah, this is how I play, you know what I'm saying? If I'm playing a guy in a suit because I'm in business or whatever like that, it's this is kind of natural to me. But that's something that I feel like I have to overextend myself to represent properly. So I think I would have a hard time, just being honest, playing a rapper. That sounds strange, you know what I'm saying? That's something that I think would take a lot more energy and effort to put into.
Yeah.
That's me.
It'd be interesting to see, though.
Oh, yeah, it would be interesting to see.
That would be interesting to see.
Cast me anyway, and I promise you'll get a good view.
Yes, there you go. There you go. True stuff.
So let me ask you this: what if you could name an actor or celebrity that that you look up to or that people have said that you favored in your career, who would that be?
Definitely Daniel Day-Lewis. There Will Be Blood. Gangs of New York. Oh my goodness! I'm trying to remember that movie with the boat. I think it was Mutiny on the Bounty. I think the name of the movie was. But Daniel Lewis and of course The Crucible, which people don't even remember.
Arthur Miller's The Crucible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Phenomenal movie. He's always transformative. Lincoln, I guess, is the one that people now know about.
Oh yeah.
He's always transformative. He's very, very selective over the roles that he picks, and every single position that he takes on, you could see that he's a method actor, really puts in the work or whatever like that. I would say I look up to him. Of course, there's Heath Ledger's Joker, which was life-changing for me. I mean, he was so good, life wasn't able to handle it, so life had to take because we can't have more performances like that.
And there's so many Jokers who played it, but not quite as well. Not quite as well. They tried, but
I can't even imitate.
Sometimes you fail.
You see a performance, you want to imitate it. Myself sometimes to imitate it. I'm I can't even do it.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
So that's going all the way. So I think those are the two biggest actors. I think on a classic level right now, Chadwick Boseman, because did I say his last name right?
Boseman, yes.
Because I think
I used to butcher it.
Of what's it called, the sound equipment.
And
but that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Indeed. I think you got the Get On Up, which apparently a lot of people haven't seen. Which was when he played James Brown. Now but then again, you guys are
of course,
yes,
indeed, him, that 42, Black Panther. If you just look just put those three roles together, you see that this guy's an incredibly talented person.
Absolutely,
who's really changing the game.
Yeah, he's about to release a movie I think called 12 Bridges, where he's an NYPD detective and there's a mass killing of police on Manhattan Island. And he's we shut down the island and we're going on a manhunt for these killers. And I saw the trailer one day when I was in the movies. I was whenever that comes out, that's the next one. Woof.
No, he's the man, dude.
Oh my goodness.
He's phenomenal.
Wow.
My mom actually was watching Black Panther with us, and when she saw an interview with him, I guess she just legitimately thought that he was Wakandan. Fresh, you know what I'm saying? Fresh. Yeah. And he's not.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
He went to Howard.
It's just funny. We had talk to I call them NARPs, non-artistic, regular people, who don't understand the industry works and that's an accent or this is a character, whatever like that. Because, apparently Humphrey Bogart, reason why I mentioned Casablanca way back when, guys would try to fight him on the streets because every single character he plays, from the Maltese Falcon, the Treasurer Sierra Madre, he was always a really tough, aggressive character.
Let's try and see if it really is. Right, exactly.
It wasn't like that, but people have a hard time separating.
The actor from the real life person. Most of them really characters are completely different from the real life person anyway. So
that's part of the fun,
Yeah. Well, Jared, I was going to ask a question about challenging moments, but for the sake of time, I'm going to skip that one. So I know you have another question for him. We kind of did, so that's why I'm going to skip it as well.
Right, so what has been your favorite role thus far?
Oh, wow. My favorite role thus far. Let's see. I did a show at Single Carrot Theater. Great theater. Just want to put that out there. It was A Beginner's Guide to Deicide. Very strange play. People thought it meant A Beginner's Guide to Decide, and it was a play about a woman named Lucy who was basically representative of Lucifer.
Right.
And she was going throughout history slaying all these great white patriarchs who changed society. And I had the opportunity to play all of those patriarchs.
Oh, wow.
So from Charles Darwin to, oh my goodness, to Joan of Arc. Not a patriarch, to William Bradford, to, oh my goodness, Dante Alighieri, like all these different people who basically changed the modern lexicon of how we think and see the world, Martin Luther and all those different people. And so I never played a role where I was playing 16 different characters, just changing a hat, changing a voice. But
that's challenging in itself.
Yeah,
that's
was
hard to do.
It was fun, and it was direct, and yeah. I think I played Nietzsche as well, but all the characters were like framed in a certain way. So it was like Charles Darwin was like film noir,
right?
That's what I captured, and then Friedrich Nietzsche was like Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever, like that, training his young Padawan Lucy Lucifer or whatever. And so I don't know, like I used to be big on fast multi-character changing, you know what I'm saying, every 5 seconds to a different character, and I love that type of stuff.
That's awesome though.
Yeah,
I wish I could have an opportunity like that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good times.
Keep it diverse. Keep it mixed up. Now, so on your website, which I'm going to let you go ahead and spit on out there to everybody. What's your website?
ChrisDews91.com. That's ChrisDews, like Mountain Dew with an S, 91.com. Look it up.
Now, on your website, I was there yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So, checking it out.
That is...
oh, man. I was browsing.
Okay.
I was browsing. It wasn't bad. It was good. Now, I learned a lot more that I didn't know about you.
Indeed.
So you had some experiences with stage combat and also puppetry.
Yes.
Which was interesting to see.
That was one thing I was shocked about. I was like,
wow.
Puppetry.
You don't see many people, at least that we've had on the show, who have even done that before. So this is a new for us.
Indeed.
But I want to know a little bit more about both. So for stage combat first, how difficult was it for you to learn stage combat?
Actually, as a kid who grew up with video games and cartoons and stuff like that, child of the 90s, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, love, that was the best time.
I was unbelievably excited to get into that. I'm actually trained in katanas, handguns, broadswords.
Oh, wow.
Staffs, and I'm trying to think there was one or two more, and of course hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, and I think rifles as well.
Wow.
That was for a show I did for Center Stage, actually.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it takes some time to get to get used to it or whatever like that, but it's fun. It's it's the closest thing you're ever going to get to being that superhero.
Right, you want to be.
I think you have to have a certain level of imagination in order to
bring it out.
Like that.
Exactly. Yeah, and some some dancing ability too.
Yeah.
It's all these attack scenes or whatever like that are heavily choreographed.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. No,
that's fun. A great resume builder.
Indeed.
Let me tell you, because not many people can really add that great value to the many things that you can already add from your experience, let alone that. So that's really good. Now talk about puppetry. That's different. It's unique.
That's interesting. A Beginner's Guide to Deicide, the same play I talked about at Single Carrot. Love Single Carrot.
Yep.
And they're not paying me to say that. I just love them. They're phenomenal
spokesperson.
people.
Look at you.
No, seriously, they really challenge. Like when you're as an actor, they go and they really will take you over the edge and challenge you and put out work that's very different.
Yeah.
So when it came to puppetry, they had me doing hand puppets in the beginning, and I used that experience to start working. You guys have heard of Kaiser Permanente?
Oh yes,
of course,
I used to have them, of course.
Yeah,
yes.
They have an educational theater department, which is now defunct. Thanks, upper management.
How dare you guys?
There, I used to do shows for kids, and they had not just hand puppets, but full body puppets. A full body puppet is, almost like what you see in mascots.
Yeah.
So I was going in and out from different costumes, from large vultures to dancing beetles and stuff like that.
Oh shit!
And I'm not gonna lie,
crazy.
A big body puppet. I still do one right now. His name is Doc Brock. Most Kaiser events you have, if there's a big piece of broccoli, I'm probably the guy.
A big piece of broccoli.
And it's, to be honest, costumes aren't necessarily, they're designed to be pretty, not designed to be helpful to the human body. So they're
comfortable.
Hot, sweaty, mess up your back a little bit. But yeah, but that's been, dude, I did that for like 2.5 years.
Wow.
Still do it now, but that's just for like special events and gigs.
Damn.
So that's a huge thing for
At least you're a healthy character.
Yeah. And of course Kaiser is a health company.
Absolutely, only makes sense.
Yeah. They're not paying me either.
I would want to be a big needle, like an injection. I would like to be that. That way, if I move like this, go and like stuff comes out.
Yeah,
I know about that.
Like water.
Big shot.
I could like squirt at you, go and like it's Big Shot. They call me Big Shot. I like that idea.
Yeah. Market it. Yeah, it's a pretty good look.
Come on, Kaiser, hire me.
I don't know about all that.
I'll do one event. Okay, I'm giving you one chance. This is your one chance.
It pays pretty well too. Just put that out there. About $30.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. They better pay you well if you're sweating your ass off in a suit for 8 to 10 hours or plus. You better be paying me well.
Indeed.
Yeah. I could sit at work and get whatever, that much money, and not sweat my ass off, okay?
All right, so you wear a lot of hats in this business, so I want you to throw on your mentor hat right now.
Okay.
What are 3 things that you would love to tell any aspiring actor or performer?
Oh,
3 things that
goodness.
they need
Now,
to
I've been
know.
thinking about this because these are the things, always when I think about what I want somebody to know, I think about what I would have wanted to know, what I want to know even right now.
Yes.
I think most people don't understand capitalism, specifically because most people who get into the arts tend to be very expressive and leftist and things of that nature. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not even a political person like that, right? So there's this hatred of capitalism that tends to like crop up, and you see now in all the debates as well,
Right.
Because capitalism is not necessarily a fair system. It's a system that's designed to produce products and make
Not a
money,
fair system, right?
Right. So I think a lot of actors, like I'm learning this now. Like I got headshots taken, right?
Yep.
But I never would have thought, you got to think about type and brand, and so it's like I just wanted a really
lot.
good picture.
Right.
But when the casting director's looking at that, they're thinking, okay, is this guy a hipster?
Right.
Is he going to be the thug character? Is he going to be the businessman? Is he an intellectual?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, by all means.
But for
By all
for
means.
someone who doesn't understand the business behind show
Bingo.
business,
Yep.
it's a wake up call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is about money in ways that I think a lot of people don't understand. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So, I know a lot of theater actors who try to transition into film, and they have a very, very hard time making it because, and I think, when you're in theater, what happens, let's say you do an audition, you don't do very well. There's a lot of like eating yourself up over, man, maybe if I did my monologue better, if I had prepared a little bit more in this round.
Right.
But in film, your eyes are too far apart. Your nose isn't, the right proportion.
Right.
Or you're black. You know what I'm saying? So we just don't, it's nothing personal. We just don't, we already had our black quotient, 17%.
And it's
So
just that's just the way that business operates.
Yeah.
It's a very visual business.
Yeah.
If you don't look like what's going to happen, no one's going to believe you.
Yeah, and it's nothing personal. That's the first thing I would say is learning capitalism and how to market yourself properly and how to make money for yourself and how the money in these businesses flow. And then I probably would tell myself, listen, there's a bunch of incredibly talented people in the world. Right? The fact that you got cast in anything is a blessing in and of itself. Right?
Yeah, it's a competition almost.
Yeah,
It's
and
sad, but
it's brutal in every regard. And you're going to deal with nasty agents and casting directors and directors in general because their mentality is supply and demand. I can always get another person.
Right.
So I would help if I could mentor anybody on that. I would definitely push them in the direction of not taking anything personal. And because actors, I don't even think people try to say we're egotistical people, right? Because anybody wants to, but I think a lot of actors actually come from a place, and this is just me. Maybe I'm just pseudoscience. Come from a place of hurt. They come from a place where they want to stand out. They want to be seen or whatever like that. So there's an idea of self-importance that they have, and of course the market or the realities of the world don't necessarily back that up. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can be the best person in the world and still not get cast. You can be the most talented actor in the world and still not get cast based
Absolutely.
off of looks, connections, who you know, those kind of things. So I would just encourage actors in that realm. And then I think the last thing I mentor them in, and this is such a controversial thing to say, but I would say to really fight for a side hustle. The industry is brutal,
Cutthroat,
and it's not designed to be your friend. My old acting teacher, Yves Muson from UMBC, actually used to say, yeah, it's hard, but why should it be easy?
Right.
And why should it be equitable? Why should it be fair? And so I would get them to invest their meaning in life in something that's not so tied to an easy rejection. That's what I would say. Because otherwise, I have actor friends when I was working in Marley at Center Stage who were telling me, if you don't get a second hobby, or if you don't get a side job, and it's not just about like getting a job for money either, but something that gives you meaning. Your best friends is going to be cocaine, the bottle, whatever like that, because you're going to be depressed. You're going to do a really good show. You're going to work really hard for 6 months. You're going to get cast and everything. You might go 6 months without a gig.
Right.
Not because you lack talent, but just because there's too many people. It's a huge market, and everybody and their godfather, thinks that they can be the next Denzel Washington, the next Meryl Streep, the next Octavia Spencer, the next, you know what I mean? So those are my 3 things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
That's
are
what I would say.
actually really, really good. Because we've asked that question, I think, to almost every actor or musician or every person who's been at this table with us based on their background. We've asked similar questions or that exact same question. Yours is unique because I think a lot of people will take different paths on that, but you've touched on different areas that they haven't before. So thank you for that because it's very intuitive and very important for people to know who are interested, especially if you're beginners, that it's not going to be easy. Please brace yourself. Please prepare as much as you can ahead of time and be ready for rejection because everybody gets it. Even the best of the best, well-known actors that you see on TV have gotten rejected probably 1,000 times before you've seen them on a movie. So
very true.
Keep that in mind.
And don't blame yourself.
Please don't.
Yeah,
right. Please don't.
All right, we really got to get into the reason why you
We
wearing
do.
a suit, bro.
We do.
Okay, that's the real reason why you're wearing a suit.
Yes.
There is a company that you work for, or matter of fact, I'm just going to say that you are, because every time I see this, I think that you're the walking face for it. Civic Works. And you're doing wonderful work in the community with this business, so please take it away. Tell
Civic
us about
Works.
You got it. All right. I am the training coordinator for the Civic Works Center for Sustainable Careers. And what we do at Civic Works, in a nutshell, we do three things. We train Baltimore City residents, and we get them certified to work in one of four industries, either installing solar panels, weatherizing homes, removing lead and asbestos, or building stormwater gardens. All environmental work, all construction level work.
Right.
So, and it pays anywhere from $14 to $18 an hour, right? Now, we don't care about a high school diploma, don't care about a criminal record. So we specifically focus on people who are either unemployed, underemployed, or people who, are at risk for reincarceration because they're out here trying to find work for themselves, but there's no opportunities for them.
Exactly.
So that's the biggest thing. We train them and then we place them. So the placement is guaranteed. And then we help them out with bus passes, gas cards, help them get food stamps, daycare vouchers, pretty much everything that a person needs, not just to get the job, but to be able to keep it, because your housing situation is important.
Transportation is
huge. So we help them get licenses. We even do a car match program that helps them go out and get a vehicle or whatever like that. Pretty much it's an all comprehensive, all encompassing program. And everybody that works there has the heart and the mindset of a mission of people's lives aren't going to change unless we fight to change them.
Right.
You're not going to make your society better if you're going to keep complaining about it, but not actually putting the legwork in. And so that's what we do. We help at least, we're only supposed to help 120 people a year. That was last year. We're not, we're on track to help 140. We've got new grants, new contracts coming in. We just booked a contract with BG&E.
Oh, nice.
We're going to do pipeline and construction in that realm. We're also connected to the Department of Natural Resources. They do classes with us as well. Everything environmental, from environmental site assessments to going out to different streams and lakes and working on parks and stuff like that.
Wow.
So basically, environmental work, regardless of a person's background, and just getting people to work and work full time.
So question on that though, I don't mean to interrupt you. So because I know a lot of agencies or companies, organizations who do the same concept, but not like that, not like that at all, but overall trying to like temp agencies are trying to find temp to perm type positions.
Yes.
So the money flow, the company that is kind of like BG&E, for example, would they pay you directly as a company and then you then pay the workers that wage?
Yeah, what it is that so most of our money comes through grants, which tends to be in three different forms, either from private industries like BG&E and stuff like that, or open funding from like the Able Foundation, or through government, right? The Department of Labor is a big funder for us. That's typically who pays for the training. If a specific company like BG&E or the Department of Natural Resources wants to train people in a specific realm, they do pay us directly.
Right.
Now, it's a nonprofit, so I don't get a chance to see a lot of that money, right? Like I don't get bonuses. People think, the more people I recruit or whatever like that, like me talking about it right now, I'm going to get some huge, it's not at all. I mean, I'm really just in it because I think that if you want to make your city better, you got to give people economic opportunities, regardless of whatever their background has been.
Which is awesome.
Companies just pay directly to get people trained.
So how do people really get involved with, can they get involved? Or are you guys kind of scouting yourselves? What does that prospect look like? What's that perspective?
The way we operate, recruitment-wise, we do have three recruiters, and I am one of them. Nicole Hansen actually is one of our recruiters. That name means nothing to you guys, maybe not, but she runs a program called Out for Justice that does legal work for specifically incarcerated citizens, because she was a lady herself who was incarcerated.
Oh, wow.
And so, we go out and make sure we get opportunities. You asked me a question, and I've already forgotten it in the 30 seconds that I tried to answer.
It happens to me all the time.
Indeed.
I'm wanting to know, how would people get to know more? Like, they're interested in saying, oh my gosh, I'm underemployed or I'm not employed. How do I get a hold of somebody at Civic Works, or how do I get started?
This is real simple. 12:30 Tuesday 3501 Brims Lane. Every Tuesday we have an information session. That's step one of the process. Then I take them through an interview process and then test them. You know, for example, you can't do solar panels if you're afraid of heights, right?
Yeah.
So as I say to everybody, Tuesday at 12:30. Now, 40%, believe it or not, of the people that come into actually now it's about 60% of the people that come into the program are friends. Of people have already graduated from the program, right? Because nobody's going to sell a process better. You're not going to trust anybody better than the person, you know. If you grew up with, I don't know, well, one guy, his name is actually Poop. That's what they call him on the streets. They call him Poop. And Poop is loud and obnoxious. And so they say that he's full of, you know.
Shit?
Basically.
Wow.
So, that's how it was.
And there's no pun intended if your name is Poop.
Right now is making over $20 an hour doing hazardous waste operations, right? And what happens in the community is if people look up and go, Poop, the guy who was selling and couldn't read, you know what I'm saying? No offense, Poop, if you're watching this. He's now making big money, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the industry. I mean, think of the average wage, I think, in the United States, which is very surprising, was $30,000 a year. Which I thought was...
That's very low.
Very
average,
low.
it's very low.
For average. And that wages out to be about $15 an hour, right? Oof. And so if you got a young guy who was incarcerated for the majority of his life and now he's making 20 to 22, right? And that's just right off the top, right? Then that's huge. Yeah. Especially for the community. So that's how a lot of our recruitment comes through. But as I always say, 12:30 Tuesday, anybody can come in, even if you're overqualified, whatever. I'll still talk with you. We'll still have the conversation. We'll see which way we can put you.
What if you're somebody who's new to this country, who just moved here?
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. But go ahead.
Is it not? Well, that was my question, because I might know some people in that bucket or category who have experience on the job. They just may not be able to yet because they just came here within the past, let's say, 6 months or so.
Yeah, I would love to increase the amount of migrant population that we work with.
Right.
Pretty much most of our immigrants have come from maybe the African countries, Nigeria and stuff like that. With a massive interest in solar panel installation, because I know that's spreading overseas very, very huge in a very huge way. So yeah, that's not a problem. I think that the only issue that we've had in the past has been trying to mitigate the language barrier.
Okay.
You know, because
if there is one, right.
Yeah, we've helped plenty of people from Ethiopia, mostly from Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon.
Wow.
I don't think I've had any Europeans, like straight Europeans, come into the program.
But there's always an opportunity for it.
There is always an opportunity. Now, we do tend to be at least a good 99% melanin. Okay. We do tend to be very black.
This isn't a problem.
Not a problem at all.
The doors are still open to attend.
Definitely. Yes,
that session.
Yes. Because I know a lot of people when they hear about these programs and they hear, they can do all this. Like culturally, people get a little thrown off, and our culture is very Afrocentric.
Right.
You know, we do train them, however, because you're going to go into the Eurocentric white man's working world, and so
But then we also look at the area where we are, and that's the population where we are. So in my mind, that would be normal.
Yeah.
So. Okay, Jared, I know we're actually getting ready to wrap up our show, but if we can throw a quick question at you and get a quick answer, we'll try to... No, you're doing great, though, actually. We'll try to throw one more in there, whatever one you like, to end the interview talking about Civic Works.
Yeah, what do you love most about it, man?
In all honesty, man, they're going to hate that I said this. My staff.
Your staff,
all the time. I've never met such a group of people that I could be... If I had to say three things... One, I get to be very open and free in a way that I've never been before. I mean, your ideas and your opinions are actually taken and valued and taken very seriously.
Oh, good. Wow, that's good.
It's still a grassroots in a way, so you have a lot of leverage to change the entire program with just your thoughts and your opinions. I would say that's one thing. I love wearing suits, of course. It's a big thing for me. Yeah. And I love the fact that you're literally changing lives. You know, this is a person who come in and said, I'm going to, if I don't get in this program, I'm probably going to be locked back up in jail, blah, blah, blah. Some people come just because the court told them to, and when they start seeing those paychecks, when they start, now they're able to pay off their child support, they're able to buy that house that they've always wanted. The people are coming in saying, I'm making $25 an hour now, thank y'all. I mean, people breaking down into tears. You're literally transforming lives, and you really can't put a price tag on that. I would love to get paid more, but you can't put a price tag on, literally
you're impacting people, so if it's not a monetary reward, then at least you're making that life-changing impact on somebody else, so that's kind of important. That's what we love about people like you in our community, because I don't feel like there's ever enough of them. So we the community appreciate what you do for everybody out here in the Baltimore area and surrounding in Maryland. So thank you. Thank you for that. Yes. And thanks for...
And I absolutely love the work that you do with Civic Works. All right, so plug yourself, man, one more time.
Cool. Here we go. Here we go. So Civic Works, like I said, 12:30 any Tuesday, 3501 Brems Lane, Center for Sustainable Careers, #CSC. Christopher Dews, that's my name, actor extraordinaire. Chris Dews 91, or you can always send me an email, chrisdews91@gmail.com, and that's DEWS, not DUDS or whatever.
Like the drink,
Yes,
Mountain Dews.
Like the drink, Mountain Dew with
Yes.
an S. Very easy to know, very easy to remember. Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you again, Chris, for joining us. We had a wonderful time with
so
you.
much, bro.
Yes, we learned a lot, and again, I appreciate your diversity in coming here talking about not only your entertainment career, but also your career itself with Civic Works. For those of you who are tuning in, we'll have more information posted for you. Check out his website. Check out Civic Works' website as well, civicworks.com.
Civicworks.com, yeah.
Couldn't even get that wrong if I tried, so thank you so much for that. Another great segment here at Out the Box Radio, but we will be back next week, next Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m., so please make sure you guys tune in.
It's the 4th. Are we here?
I think I don't know, actually.
Little
Check the
independent
calendar. I
anybody
forgot about
back,
that.
yeah.
I forgot about that, but we will check.
We do a best of.
We might just do a best of segment, but for those of you who
Wait, 7 o'clock
are...
on the 4th? Wait a minute.
But they won't know, because guess what? We will be on the website, right? So they won't know if we're live or not. Shh. Take that back as we go out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Out the Box Radio Show. We will see you next week right here at the same table. Maybe without the cloth. We'll see. See you next week.